guys, welcome to this speed build video in The Sims 4. My name is Irene and today I am building my futuristic beach house. This video is a part in the series going on my channel right now called Real to Sims, and in that series I'm trying to recreate real life houses or concepts, in this case to the best of my ability in The Sims 4. And yet today this futuristic beach house, it had especially a very interesting roof shape, and when I saw a picture of it on Pinterest I just had to give it a try in the game in The Sims 4. I love playing around with the roof tool in the game. I love giving myself a bit of a challenge, and I knew I could do both things with this house. I found a picture just after I did my last build, my hilltop mansion, and my plan was just a quote-unquote normal video today. But when I saw that picture I just had to try to recreate it. And yeah, that last build, that hilltop mansion, had just only flat roofs, and yeah, as I said, I just really like playing around with that roof tool, so I was just ready to give it a try. That picture that I found, that real life house, as far as I could find, it isn't really built yet, but it's an architectural concept by a German architect, and it's like a model home, so you can order it in different colors, in black, in white, and in a softer brown. And yeah, I found a German website about it with a lot of information, but I'm the worst in German. I had the lowest grades on German in high school. I was way better with maths and physics, so I tried to translate it a little bit. I put it through Google Translate, but yeah, I can still not tell you that much about it. Of course, I will put a link to the German website in the description box down below if you want to know a little bit more about this house. But yeah, these roofs. There are a couple of interesting things going on with roofs in the game. If you're building a lot, you know that you cannot place rooms next to each other with different heights or foundations with different heights. But you can place roofs through each other with different heights, and there's actually a method for it, and I use it a lot, and you can see that I'm doing that over here as well. The thing you want to do, you want to place a room next to your build, and you don't want to attach that room to your build, but you really want to place it next to it, so you can lower it down or raise it up with a foundation tool without raising up the rest of the house. Then you want to lower it down or raise it up at the perfect height, the same height where you want your roof to be. Then you place your roof on top of that room, and when you pull out the roof with still the room attached to it, you cannot place it through other roofs. But when you remove that room, you can pull out the roofs and really make some interesting shapes and sizes and things with the roofs. And yeah, I use that method a lot here. Yeah, you can see it over here as well. There are a couple of annoying things about it, because when you want to replace walls just in your house, and you have these different heights roofs attached to that wall or the thing you want to change, it happens that all your roofs are removed then or deleted, and it's very annoying, especially when you figured out the perfect height for it. So there are a couple of glitches, but I loved playing around with it. And yeah, when you know where these glitches are and you know the right order to place everything, it's kind of okay. As you can see, the entire shape of the roof is already finished. I really went with that picture, of course, that A-frame with a different, thing at the bright. I'm sorry, a little bit fake. And I really took notice that all the angles of the roofs were in the exact same angle to make it look just a little bit better. That was especially the kind of tricky thing, to make everything in all the same angles everywhere. And I went with this black roof pattern that came with the Island Living pack. The main reason I went with that roof pattern, there are 3 different roof patterns in the game that have an extra thing. Because when you color the roof with these 3 different roof patterns, it also colors the bottom of the roof. All the other roof patterns, You can only place just the color on the top of the roof, and you still got stuck with just a white blank bottom of a roof. And yeah, in this build a lot of bottoms of roofs were shown as well, so I really had to go with one of these 3 roof patterns, and one of them came with base game and the 2 with island living, all these straw roofs, and I just went with the most plain black one because I thought that had the best look in this house. I built this house on this 30 by 30 lot in Brindleton Bay. Yeah, I'm kind of hooked on building in Brindleton Bay since I did my Canyon container house. I never really built here before that house, and yeah, after that I did that hilltop mansion here, and now yet again I'm building here. And yeah, I love this lot as well. It's kind of small because normally I love building on 64 by 64 lots. But for this house it had the perfect shape. And especially love this kind of lots and in Brindleton Bay. In this golden hour at the end of the day. And especially over here with the clouds. They're kind of a magical color here with the purple and orange. And the sun is still shining very bright on the house. So you can see the house very good. And you have these very interesting colors going on at the background with the clouds. And yeah, especially with the clouds. I love the look of it over here. So I had to change up the weather because I wanted to have that perfect weather. And I found a new method to change the weather in the game. Maybe you know it already, but I still wanted to share it because I didn't know it before, and it was kind of game changing for me because I'm always looking for the perfect weather, especially when I'm taking my screenshots for the thumbnail and yeah, for the screenshots and everything in the house tour. And yeah, normally you just had to go for fast speeds and just wait for the perfect time, for the perfect weather in the game. But I found out when you go to game options and then to seasons in your whole settings menu, when you change the length of a season, you can go for 7 days, 14 days and 28 days. And every time when you change the length of the season and you want to click on apply changes, it changes the weather as well. So sometimes you have to change the length of the season like 3 or 4 times before you get that perfect weather that you want to have. But yeah, it was a very easy method because when it's a different weather than before you changed it, you just have to click on play, wait for like 10 seconds and the weather changes. So yeah, maybe you know it already, but I really wanted to share it because yeah, I just found it out and it made making screenshots and waiting for the perfect weather way easier. But as you can see, the entire shell of the house or the whole structure of the house is already finished. I made a pool at the front and I made it kind of foggy or steamy. I used the steam crate for it. I think that came with Get Together. I placed it at the bottom of the pool and later on I will place another smaller pool at the back as well and even one indoor, but that's more of a feature, but of course you can see it later on. But you want to place the steam crates in and then you want to go to live mode. Just click on play, wait a couple of seconds and then you get that steam and it always, I think it gives your builds a little bit more like a real life or on the other side magical effect. And because I wanted to go for this futuristic style here today and I knew these clouds at the background had a kind of spooky color, yeah, I just thought it looked better with that steamy pool at the front. We're already onto the furniture, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about the rocks and the flowers and everything I went with on the exterior as well, or with the landscaping. They're all debug items. The only thing that isn't a debug item in the landscaping is the blossom tree that I used on the left. I tried out so many different trees, but I like this one the best. It came with cats and dogs and it comes in a couple of gorgeous swatches and I think it's such a pretty tree. It's so fine made and it's sometimes so strange that I can get so happy from certain items in the game. But yeah, I just love the look of that tree and I went with a lot of grass underneath it to kind of of make it into a swamp as well. I know it's on a beach, it's on the island in Brindleton Bay, and yeah, it's a beach house, but I still thought it was fitting. And yeah, it's grass, it's a debug item, it came with Get Together, and the same for the bush I used on the right, but the bush you can find, I think, with Strangerville as well, and it came with a couple of different packs too. And I used a couple of rocks, and they're an assembly of rocks, and they clip into the ground, so that's very easy to use. I talked about it before. There are a couple of rocks in all these debug items that we have now, that when you place them on foundations or on hills, they just stick in the air, they float in the air, but there are a couple ones that really clip in the ground as well, and I love using them. And the stones that I use came with Get Together too as a debug item. But let's go to the interior. I custom made a sofa, modular couch on the exterior, on the lower terrace and on the two upper terraces as well. I combined some tables from the Spa Day pack with some couches from Moschino. To create my own couches here. I did that because I took a good look at the picture that I had of this house. And there was a sofa with these cubes at the sides and all these different angles, and I thought it looked interesting with the different angles going on the exterior of the house as well, so that's why I custom made it. I placed some stone slabs in the pool to give it the illusion like there was a step in, like a small stair or something, so you can enter the pool. Luckily you Sims can enter and leave the pool now without a pool ladder, because I didn't place a pool ladder in. I wanted to keep it kind of minimalistic on the exterior, and even that small pool ladder was a little bit distracting, I think. We're onto the living room right now, and I used this rock that came with Discover University and these lights that came with the fitness stuff pack. I totally forgot about these lights, and I used them for the first time in my Canyon container house, and I think they're gorgeous, and especially with the geometric shapes that are in the rock as well, and of course are in the roof too. I thought they really fitted well together. I made a water feature here with some lights. I wanted to give the house some futuristic touches with a futuristic interior. I had just one picture of the interior and I thought it was so bland, so I did a totally different interior. The whole real to Sims aspect is really of the exterior. For the interior, I went with my own taste. With some futuristic touches, like in the kitchen and later on upstairs in the bedroom as well. But we get into that in a couple of minutes, I think. Oh man, we're almost at the end of this video. It's going so fast. The last video I did was almost half an hour, so this one is almost half, so we're already almost there. And I still wanted to tell you a bit about the deck that I made outside. I used the same method for it as I did with the roofs. I placed a room next to the deck and I placed a deck on it. And then I lowered it down with the foundation tool, and in that way I could create a deck that was just a little bit higher than the other deck. We're onto the bedroom right now. I placed this huge painting over there. I thought the colors were amazing for this build. All the colors that I wanted to go with in this build is lighter yellow, brown, beige color and the black. So I sized it up a couple of times and I placed it under the glass roof so you can see the big painting from the exterior as well. This entire bedroom is placed in a roof with a glass roof on top of it. So while building it was a little bit annoying, but when you're playing with this house and you just have the roofs down, as you can see me switch around in, over here I had the roofs down. It really works and you can really play with this house, of course. So of course I will put it up on the gallery so you can download it and put it in your own game if you want. I love placing in bathtubs in interesting places. So I placed this bathtub under the glass roof. I used a room divider here, this glass room divider. It came with a Moschino pack, and in that way, the whole bathtub wasn't just like open with the bedroom and a little bit of a, how do you say it? Oh, well, you know what I mean. I placed it in over here, a couple of couches here. I love using that stereo. But I think just in its original size is a little bit too big, so I sized it down. I use it at the lower level as well. Over here the bathroom, and you can see I have a huge mirror here, and at the other side is actually a window, and normally you can use it in like a police station, like a window with a mirror at the side and a window at the other side. But I use it over here as an item in the bathroom. And you have, when you look at the house from the exterior, you have the window there. The lights that I used are from Tiny Living, and I'm using them so much in my builds lately. I love them. I think they're so fine made. A toilet over here, and yeah, I think that we're on the end of this video already. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, if you did, please give it a like or a comment or something. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I would really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you'll have a great day today, and I hope I talk to you soon, maybe in one of my next videos. Have an amazing day. Goodbye.